Before you take another bite of your favorite pasta, before you microwave that quick and easy dinner, there's something you need to know. In the past year alone, a single hidden contamination inside one American factory triggered what experts are calling the largest listeria outbreak of the decade. 6 people died, 25 were hospitalized. More than 2 million boxes of pre-cooked pasta were pulled off shelves across the United States. And the terrifying part? Most consumers had no idea they were eating products all linked to the same silent source. Nate's Fine Foods, a manufacturer that supplied ready-made pasta to dozens of major brands, Trader Joe's, Walmart's Marketside, Sprouts, Scott, and John's, and more. These weren't shady off-brand items. These were products sold by stores people trust with their family's meals. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain, because behind every safe, quick, or healthy pasta bowl you've microwaved this year, there might be a story you were never supposed to hear. A story of shortcuts. A story of negligence. A story of how one contaminated production line unleashed a chain reaction that spread across America's grocery aisles like a silent domino collapse. If you bought pre-made pasta anytime in 2025, if you have a box plus A3, a 2.6 sitting in your freezer right now, if your kids ate one of these meals after school, you need to hear this. So take a breath. Open your mind. And get ready, because what you're about to discover might change the way you shop forever. #7. Great Value 5-Cheese Lasagna. Walmart. At first glance, Great Value 5-Cheese Lasagna looks like the safest comfort food in America. Layered pasta, ricotta, romano, mozzarella, parmesan, all wrapped in tomato sauce and the quiet promise of convenience. A dish for busy parents, elderly folks living alone, college students heating dinner at midnight. But when FDA inspectors sliced into these family-sized trays during the 2025 safety sweep, they found cold pockets buried deep inside the dense cheese layers, cold enough for Listeria monocytogenes to survive manufacturing and freezing temperatures. And Listeria loves cheese. It thrives in protein, hides in moisture, and waits inside the frozen folds like a patient assassin. Now, imagine your elderly father heating this up, unaware that his weakened immune system is no match for a pathogen that attacks the bloodstream and brain. Imagine a pregnant woman eating this during a craving, never suspecting a bacteria capable of crossing the placenta. Imagine a child coming home from school, microwaving a slice, tasting nothing abnormal because Listeria doesn't change flavor, texture, or smell. The recall removed thousands of units from shelves, but it couldn't remove the fear. How long had this been happening? Why didn't manufacturing test core temperatures? Why did packaging never warn consumers that uneven heating could turn a comforting meal into a lethal one? This wasn't just a safety slip. It was a structural failure of engineering, oversight, and accountability. Because when cheese is packed too densely, when heating is inconsistent, when inspection logs are treated as paperwork rather than protection, bacteria doesn't die. It adapts. It survives. It waits. 5 cheeses. And one silent layer of Listeria underneath. And if a simple lasagna can hide a pathogen in its creamy folds, what about the restaurant-quality Alfredo sitting in your freezer right now? #6. Rana Chicken. Alfredo Fettuccine. Rana Chicken Alfredo Fettuccine looks like the fancy pasta you pick when you want to treat yourself. Fresh fettuccine folded into creamy Alfredo sauce, chunks of grilled chicken, real Parmesan, real cream, the kind of refrigerated entree that promises restaurant quality in just 6 minutes. The packaging glows with Italian charm, rustic fonts, golden pasta ribbons, phrases like crafted with care, fresh, never frozen, made in small batches. It feels personal, artisanal, safer than mass-produced frozen meals. But investigators learned the more fresh the pasta, the more vulnerable it is. Because fresh pasta is alive, fresh cheese is alive, fresh cream is alive, and everything alive becomes a playground for bacteria when sanitation slips even once. When the FDA traced upstream contamination from facilities supplying cooked chicken and dairy components in 2025, multiple Rana chicken Alfredo lots showed red flags: temperature abuse during transport, irregular cooling cycles, inconsistent testing logs, and an environmental listeria footprint matching the strains found in several illnesses. Not enough for a headline-making outbreak, but enough for recall alerts, internal investigations, and a frightening discovery. The creamy core of this pasta could harbor listeria long after the surface reached safe cooking temperatures. Now imagine, if your elderly father chooses this fresh, premium meal because it's soft, easy to chew, and gentle on the stomach, would his weakening immune system survive a pathogen that attacks the brain? If your chronically ill spouse warms this after work, would their already fragile defenses withstand a bacteria that survives refrigeration? If your pregnant sister grabs one during a craving, would she ever suspect that a refrigerated pasta could carry one of the only foodborne pathogens capable of crossing the placenta? Listeria doesn't announce itself. It doesn't change the taste. It doesn't make the sauce smell strange. It hides in the creamy Alfredo folds waiting. Behind sanitized marketing words like handcrafted, slow-aged cheese, restaurant quality, lies a manufacturing system where one mistake, one underclean drainage area, one poorly calibrated chiller, one mislabeled batch of cooked chicken can turn fresh into fatal. The recall didn't just pull trays off the shelf. It pulled back the curtain on an industry problem. Fresh pasta isn't safer because it looks closer to homemade. It's more dangerous because it demands perfection in every step. Temperature, timing, sanitation, and perfection is rare. The lawsuits came quietly. The complaints came louder, and the consumer trust? It cracked like overcooked pasta. Fresh pasta made with love, and a freshness that listeria apparently appreciated too. Market to do ask. And if listeria can hide in something marketed as premium, small batch, artisan, imagine what it can do inside a national brand's seafood linguini smothered in garlic, butter, and a false sense of security. #5. Scott and John's Shrimp Scampi with Linguini. Scott and John's Shrimp Scampi with Linguini looks like the kind of frozen dinner you'd proudly hand someone you love. The ingredients on the box whisper comfort. Linguini: butter, garlic, shrimp, herbs. A premium seafood meal packed into a neat little tray. The brand promises a restaurant-quality Italian dinner. Fast, clean, and absolutely safe. But labels, like staged photographs, always hide what's just out of frame. Behind this glossy packaging, the FDA uncovered a truth far colder than the freezer aisle. This product was tied to the massive listeria contamination, originating from Nate's Fine Foods, the same outbreak that hospitalized 25 people across the U.S. Listeria isn't just a bacteria, it's a predator that thrives in cold, clinging to shrimp, pasta, and creamy sauces like a shadow. If your elderly parents ate this, a quick dinner before bed, would their weakened immune systems withstand the neurological attack? If a chronically ill person trusted the brand's promise, would their body survive the infection? Listeria can cause meningitis, bloodstream infections, and for seniors, fatal complications. So, why did a premium frozen dinner end up carrying a pathogen that survives the very temperature meant to protect you? It raises the real question. Where were the inspections? The testing? The responsibility? Shrimp Scampi with Linguini now featuring a surprise guest, Listeria. #4. Sprouts Smoked Mozzarella Pasta Salad. Sprouts built its reputation on clean eating, farmers' markets, and the promise that natural food means safe food. Their smoked mozzarella pasta salad looks exactly like that promise. Tender pasta, smoked mozzarella, peppers, herbs, olive oil, a bowl of sunshine you'd proudly serve to your mom, your grandparents, even at a family picnic. The brand promises fresh, wholesome nutrition. A simple salad. A healthy choice. But in food investigations, the word healthy is often the first trap. Because when the FDA traced the 2025 listeria outbreak, this salad wasn't just near the center, it was inside it. Linked directly to Nate's Fine Foods, the same contaminated facility tied to 6 deaths, this salad became a Trojan horse. Bright and colorful on the outside, hiding a bacteria that thrives in cold pasta and soft cheese. Listeria isn't a minor inconvenience. It's a silent invader that attacks the brain and bloodstream, especially in seniors whose immune defenses are already thin. If your elderly mother ate this, thinking it was a light lunch, if your father enjoyed a serving after dinner, would their bodies survive the assault? So, why did a brand selling purity end up distributing a product carrying a pathogen that can kill? Where were the sanitation logs? The environmental tests? The oversight? A wholesome salad, with a not-so-wholesome chance of landing you in the ER. #3. Raw Ramen Kobayashi. Raw ramen Kobayashi entered the market with an almost sacred kind of purity. Just wheat flour, water, and salt. 3 minimalist ingredients, what the manufacturer proudly called authentic, traditional ramen with no hidden allergens. You read the label and breathe a sigh of relief. No soy, no dairy, no eggs. A simple, safe choice, especially for older adults or anyone with fragile immune systems. But in food investigations, simplicity is often the thickest curtain hiding the truth. FDA testing revealed that this product actually contained soy lecithin, a major allergen, yet it never appeared on the label. A betrayal, wrapped in minimalism. A dangerous omission disguised as clean ingredients. Now imagine this. If an elderly person with a soy allergy ate this, even a trace amount could trigger anaphylaxis, plunging blood pressure, restricted breathing, chaotic heart rhythms. If a child sensitive to soy took just one bite, you'd have minutes, not hours, to reach the ER. And you'd find yourself asking, why would they hide something this dangerous? A labeling error? A safety oversight? Or a careless mistake that could take someone's life? The fallout was swift. A national recall, multiple emergency cases, and outrage from consumers who trusted the brand's promise of purity. Pure ramen, pure panic. The moment you need a breathing tube. #2. Marketside linguine with meatballs and marinara. At first glance, Marketside linguine with meatballs and marinara looks like the ultimate comfort meal. Soft linguine, beef meatballs, rich red marinara sauce. The packaging promises classic Italian flavor, strict hygiene, and reliable quality. A warm dinner you'd serve your kids, your aging parents, or anyone needing something quick but hearty. But comfort foods often hide the most uncomfortable truths. During the 2025 outbreak, FDA traced this product directly back to Nate's Fine Foods, the contaminated facility responsible for the decade's largest listeria crisis. This wasn't a minor oversight. This pasta contributed to at least 20 confirmed illnesses nationwide. Listeria loves cold, moist environments. It clings to pasta, to meatballs, to sauces that stay cold before reheating. And for seniors, whose immune systems weaken with age, a single serving can become a neurological assault. Fever, confusion, seizures, life-threatening infections. Imagine your elderly father heating this up for dinner. Imagine your child eating it after school. Would their bodies survive the infection hiding beneath that warm, red sauce? And you have to ask, where were the sanitation checks? Why did a product claiming strict hygiene carry bacteria that thrives on negligence? The result? Hospitalizations, recalls, shattered trust, marinara so red. It might as well match the hospital alert. #. Trader Joe's Cajun-style fettuccine Alfredo. Trader Joe's built its empire on quirky designs, friendly vibes, and foods that look handmade. Their Cajun-style fettuccine Alfredo is the perfect example. Fettuccine, Cajun-seasoned chicken, cream, butter, spices. A comforting, richly flavored dish that promises easy Italian dining, safe for the whole family. But behind that warm Cajun aroma lies a truth cold enough to freeze your spine. The FDA confirmed that this product was directly tied to the deadliest part of the Nate's Fine Foods, listeria outbreak linked to 6 deaths and hundreds of thousands of discarded units. Listeria thrives in creamy sauces, hides in cold pasta, and survives freezer temperatures like a patient assassin. Now imagine, if your elderly mother heated this up for dinner, would her weakened immune system withstand a bacteria that targets the brain and bloodstream? If a pregnant woman ate this during a craving, would her baby survive the infection? If a child grabbed this after school, would anyone suspect danger in a meal from one of America's most trusted grocery chains? This wasn't a small oversight. It was a collapse in sanitation, inspection, and accountability. So, before you give up on ready-made pasta entirely, let's look at 3 far safer, fully vetted alternatives you can rely on. 1. Rao's Homemade Frozen Meals. Rao's Homemade is one of America's most trusted premium Italian brands. Their frozen meals like fettuccine Alfredo and penne alla vodka use real ingredients, slow-cooked sauces, quality cheese, herbs, and pasta with no artificial preservatives. They're designed to deliver restaurant-level flavor at home. What makes Rao's reliable is its SQF Level 3 certified facilities, one of the strictest food safety systems in the U.S. Every batch is tested for pathogens, and the brand has a clean recall history, unlike Trader Joe's or Marketside products tied to the 2025 Nate's Listeria outbreak. Because Rao's produces in-house and avoids third-party manufacturers, the risk of cross-contamination is drastically lower. The result? Safer meals, richer taste, and peace of mind, especially for seniors and families seeking trusted ready-made pasta. 2. Amy's Kitchen Frozen Meals. Amy's Kitchen is known for organic, clean-label frozen meals like vegetable lasagna and mac and cheese. They use non-GMO ingredients, organic dairy, and vegetables cooked simply and carefully. Their safety standards are some of the highest in the category. Organic certified, NSF gluten-free, and strong allergen controls. In over 30 years, Amy's has avoided major recalls, unlike raw ramen Kobayashi, which hid soy allergens and triggered severe reactions. Amy's emphasizes full transparency, listing all allergens and testing every recipe thoroughly. No hidden ingredients, no surprises. Families benefit from meals that are safe for kids, seniors, pregnant women, and those with sensitive digestion, offering cleaner nutrition in a market filled with risky shortcuts. 3. Barilla Ready Pasta. Barilla Ready Pasta is a simple, shelf-stable, microwavable pasta made from semolina, water, and a touch of olive oil. No dairy, no meat, no sauce, meaning fewer microbiological risks. Manufactured under BRCGS food safety certification, Barilla maintains strict quality control, and because this product contains no high-risk ingredients, the chance of Listeria survival is extremely low, unlike Sprouts mozzarella salad or Scott & John's shrimp scampi, where cheese and seafood created ideal bacteria environments. Barilla's simplicity allows you to add your own fresh sauce, giving full control over safety and flavor. The benefits: fast, safe, customizable, and reliable, ideal for seniors, children, or anyone wanting a low-risk pasta option in the U.S. Now that you've seen what lies beneath the surface of America's most ordinary foods, it's impossible to walk through a grocery store the same way again. You've witnessed how trusted brands, from frozen dinners to fresh Italian pasta, can turn into silent threats, hiding behind cheerful packaging and comforting words. You've seen how creamy sauces, soft cheeses, poultry, and seafood become battlegrounds where bacteria like Listeria and Salmonella thrive long before they ever reach your kitchen. And you've seen how manufacturers, suppliers, inspectors, and entire supply chains can fail, all while consumers remain unaware. Because the real shock isn't that these recalls happen. The real shock is how easy it is for them to happen. How one miscalibrated chiller, one contaminated batch of cheese, one overlooked drain in a factory floor can create a nationwide health risk. How a meal meant to comfort your family can become the meal that sends someone you love to the hospital. And if you felt even a moment of disbelief or anger while watching this video, good. Because that means you're waking up from the illusion most shoppers still live under. The illusion that shiny packaging equals safety. That corporate promises equal protection. That FDA inspections catch everything. They don't. They can't. And they never will not, as long as companies cut corners, outsource ingredients, rely on aging equipment, or hide behind phrases like premium, fresh made, and farm quality. But here's the part that matters. You're not powerless. Not anymore. From today on, you're not just a shopper. You're a protector of your home. You understand labels differently. You question what's inside the box, instead of trusting what's printed on it. You know how quickly a recall can turn dinner into danger, and how quietly a pathogen can hide inside something that smells and looks perfectly fine. And this is only the beginning. Because if deadly pathogens can hide in something as simple as lasagna, If allergens can be concealed in the folds of clean label ramen, if listeria can sit quietly inside seafood scampi, then what do you think is happening in the aisles we haven't talked about yet? What about children's snacks? What about ready-to-eat salads? What about plant-based foods that rely on massive processing lines? What about the healthy products marketed as safer alternatives? If you want to stay ahead of recalls, if you want to protect your parents, your kids, your partner, if you want to be one of the few people who actually knows what's happening behind the scenes of America's food system, then do 3 simple things right now. Hit like so YouTube pushes this message to more families. Click subscribe so you never miss the warnings that others will learn too late. Turn on the bell because the next recall won't wait, and neither should you. Your awareness is your first defense. Your knowledge is your strongest shield. And your next meal may depend on what we uncover in the next video. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and never forget. In the world of food safety, danger hides in the most ordinary places, and only those who pay attention will see it coming.